The story was about American general, at the time, Dwight Eisenhower and the UFOs, where we talked about Foo Fighters. So during World War II, Winston Churchill was United Kingdom's Prime Minister from 1940 to 1945 and also 1951 to 1955. During this period of time, I have heard many of these stories about UFOs. This one was new. It is about Winston Churchill, his fear and attempt to cover up UFO stories. He was considered a great leader in Britain and historically worldwide. It seems during the latter part of World War II the Royal Air Force had many sightings of UFOs over Britain, so Churchill ordered a special team. The Whitehall Mandarins called the Flying Saucer Working Party to investigate the increasing sightings as they flew missions. The Allied pilots called these sightings Foo Fighters. An article in the Smithsonian Magazine had this to say. The Citations have the link. One night in November 1944, a Bristol Beaufighter crew, pilot Edward Schluter, radar observer Donald J. Myers, and intelligence officer Fred Ringwald, were flying along the Rhine north of Strasbourg. They described seeing 8 to 10 bright orange lights off the left wing. They flew at high speeds and were undetected by radar. The objects were variously described as fiery and glowing red, white, or orange. Some pilots described them as resembling Christmas tree lights and reported that they seemed to toy with the aircraft, making wild turns before simply vanishing. Pilots and aircrew reported that the objects flew formation with their aircraft and behaved as if under intelligent control, but never displayed hostile behavior. However, they could not be outmaneuvered or shot down. They were thought at first to be German, but as the war waned, they were ever present. The former Prime Minister Churchill banned the reporting of the incidents to the public. He was afraid it would cause mass hysteria and affect the public's ability to have faith in organized religion. He made this decision while secretly meeting with USA then General Eisenhower. There is one story that states an unnamed man who had been in the Royal Air Force reported that on a reconnaissance aircraft returning from a mission over Europe, the crew saw a metallic UFO. The crew reportedly took photos of the ship, which was said to hover silently near the RAF aircraft. Churchill's response was, "Classify the report for at least 50 years, its release to be determined by the review and approval of the Prime Minister." According to Churchill's bodyguard's testimony, Churchill, who was a Christian, found the report might have social implications, including the destabilization of the greater populace's religious faith. Churchill was claimed to have said, "This event should be immediately classified since it would create mass panic among the general population and destroy one's belief in the Church." In 2010, thousands of files were released to the National Archives of Great Britain. 18 files, which cover from 1995 to 2003 alone, are made up of more than 5,000 pages of reports, letters, and drawings drawn from correspondence with the public and questions raised in Parliament. For a small fee, most can be had at the site. Dr. David Clark, author of the UFO Files and senior lecturer in journalism at Sheffield Hallam University, said the fascinating files showed the level of concern about such bizarre incidents during the war. It does tie in with what we already know, as you have to remember that this was also long before the phrase UFO was created, he said. "I suspect there is an element of truth to the statement.